know who've had 140 pro fights in the kingdom. Some of them don't spin at all. And I know one kid who had such a good back-spinning elbow that he actually set up a pro fight in Thailand just so he could show it off and knock the guy out. Like, so it's something you either have or you don't. It's not like a round kick to the head, which every Muay Thai fighter has. So that having been said, the first thing is it's not like boxing. You're not going to be able to throw elbows unless your hands breathe a little bit. You're not going to be able to throw elbows from this position. You're going to need to have a little bit of an open guard. And you're going to need to make sure that just like most hooks, except for the counter hook, that the point of the elbow itself doesn't go past your nose, that it stays right here. And you see, I'm setting up to do a rear elbow. What's the first thing that I do? I'm bridging. Unlike a punch where boxing, that'll get you knocked out. The first thing boxing coaches yell at you is, don't reach your hands out. Put him next to, cover up. So any good boxing coach will tell you. Muay Thai is totally different. You're doing what's illegal in boxing. You're doing a stiff arm. You're framing. You're touching the opponent. And if you can touch him, you can kick him. And if you can touch him, you can grab him in and pull him into these elbows. Man. The only thing that even worked against guys with hundreds and hundreds of pro fights, the only move was this pull their arms, jerk their arms forward and throw a tamala, a right up elbow. And I'm not one of these quick jerk karate guys. There's some guys, be they small or big, that have really good fast twitch. That's not my thing. But in sparring, getting all my teeth broken against these Muay Thai guys, the one move that tended to work against even there was some guys you'd spar with have had literally 500 pro fights in Thailand. It's ridiculous. They grow up learning how to look at the punches and see them coming in and counter. I mean, they take Westerners apart there. I saw this one guy with 80 pro fights, this tough European Westerner, and this Thai guy who didn't look tough at all, who was the Andaman champion, kicked him right here, inside leg kick, and he dropped like a sack of potatoes. I'll never forget that in my life. I'm like, I never even seen people get dropped to the, well, yeah, sometimes I've been hit to the neck, hit to the chin, and I've dropped like a sack of potatoes. It was like that. This guy, he had 80 fights or so. He dropped to the ground like you were dropping a bowl, like fast. It was weird. So that having been said, the art of these elbows, it's not, like I said, it's not like boxing. You're not going to keep your hands in and throw elbows. The hands have to breathe first and foremost, a lot more, or kind of like a long guard in boxing, but with the hands open. And that's going to enable you to throw all these effective elbows within range. And that's the thing. I mean, you see sometimes Thai fighters are trying to throw elbows against Western fighters who know how to box and get out of range and light them up. So it's a stylistic thing. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. I happen to love elbows. I think that they're a devastating weapon, especially for cutting, for ending fights. This parry and up elbow left, I've only seen really one crew cheat over at Dragon Muay Thai, the head instructor there. I've seen him end about 20 Muay Thai championship fights in stadiums. That was his whole thing. Parry a jab and up elbow, and I'd seen him split so many guys' heads open, and the ref was just like, it's too bloody, we have to stop it. Literally seen that ad nauseum 20 friggin' times over from that little cheap ass move. But sorry, no offense, traditional 1,000-year-old cheap ass move. Just a little parry, a little guard split, parry and step in with that tamala sai, with that left up elbow. So that's what I wanted to come across, just a few little elbow basics. And also, even more so than other times, you're inside when you're throwing this elbow. They're not there, you can't reach them. They're here, so by definition, and even sometimes I've been lucky enough to drop people every single time, even if they're going unconscious or falling down, their body is swinging really hard, and they could easily be out on their feet and still just accidentally, boom, catch you. And you're going to get hit right where you were going to get hit, in that nerve point. So you've got, much more so than even punches and elbows, you've got to have that other hand up, covering, protecting, almost to an extent that, like, such an exaggerated high guard that it wouldn't work in a fight. It would only work if somebody was like really in your face and you're grabbing their head and using this elbow art, you know, for this type of range until you're throwing them down, disengaging, taking them to the ground, taking them to Hawaii, whatever your range is. So yeah, just wanted to go over that because the wooden dummy literally broke apart as it usually does. And I figured it's a good time to flap my gums about elbows. Hang a string from the ceiling and throw the elbow, and like I said, make sure that it doesn't stop here. Make sure that it stops here, right in front of your nose. And make sure that you're using this bridging and framing to throw the elbows. It's gonna help you land those elbows instead of just trying to do it from this guard and then they're not really gonna work. Let the hands breathe. Occasionally frame and bridge and use that stiff arm to set up the elbow either with the opposite hand or with the mirror hand or with the same hand or just off of a parry. Off of a parry is an